Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I will be reviewing Marigold's show that they had on April 6th of 2025, their Spring Victory Series in Kobe Sambo Hall with attendance of 253. The first match of the show is Megaton versus Nagisa Tachibana. Going into this one, I didn't really have high hopes for it as Tachibana is very new and Megaton is comic relief. Before the match even started, though, I couldn't help but notice a new face working ring second. She doesn't look too familiar to me, so maybe a trainee. This match was pretty much what I had expected, though, a couple comedy spots mixed with Tachibana trying her best. She really surprised me, though, in this match. Her bumping and selling are pretty decent for her skill level. I have high hopes for her if she decides to stick with wrestling. The match ends with Megaton performing a Megaton splash off the turnbuckle, getting the count. Later during the aftermatch interview, Megaton actually surprises Tachibana by appearing and drawing triangles on her face. I would have to rate this match good, which means the show started off on a decent note. Unlike how WWE 2K wants you to book your shows in GM mode, Marigold likes to have all of the best matches at the end, with the show tending to rise in quality as it goes on. The second match of the show was Chikagoto versus Riara, and unfortunately this one turned out to be the worst one of the night. But it wasn't bad. This match didn't have any one thing that brought it down, it was more that the entire match was just so forgettable. Nothing of interest really happened, it was just two wrestlers having a singles match to fill out the card. It doesn't help that neither wrestler is all that great either. The match ended with Chikagoto submitting Riara with a Boston Crab of all things, and I would have to give this one a rating of okay. The third match of the show is our first tag match. It has Natsumi Shizuki and Ryoko Sakamura versus Hummingbird and Yuki Minami. The match started off interesting with only Yuki Minami offering up a handshake, the other three wrestlers noticeably against the idea. Unlike the previous match, this one seemed to set up or establish relationships between some of the wrestlers involved. By the end, Shizuki and Hummingbird seemed to have some beef, and Yuki and Ryoko were acting very aggressive against each other throughout the match. All of the women besides Ryoko really helped the match not be boring, with moments like this, where Natsumi Shizuki seemingly thought that Yuki Minami didn't need her head anymore. The biggest surprise for me in this match is Yuki. I know out of the three Gravure rookies, she was the one with like any kind of experience, but still, she seems to be a bit above the other two. For example, what rookie is pulling out a choke giant swing like this and making it look actually good? Cough, cough, Chikagoto. The match ended with Yuki pinning Ryoko with a nice looking suplex. After the bell, Shizuki seemed to have a problem with Hummingbird and they get into a very minor scuffle. Overall, this match is getting a good rating. The fourth match of the show was another tag match, this time with Kizuna Tanaka and Rya Seto versus Chiaki and Misa Matsui. This one had some great potential, but again, there were no current rivalries in this match, as Rya Soto is currently feuding with Victoria Yuzuki, and Kizuna Tanaka just came back from injury. Despite that, this match was mostly fun to watch, but there were hiccups. Many timing issues, but the worst botch of the night was this. When Rya and Misa Matsui were trying to do something, I got to be honest, I'm not even sure what she was trying to go for here. Despite how much Rya has improved since joining Marigold, this match made it painfully obvious that she's just not ready to move up the card yet. There were some highlights though, like Chiaki's spear to Rya, Misa Matsui's running crossbody to Rya, and Kizuna Tanaka's suplex to Misa Matsui on the ground. The match ended with Misa Matsui pinning Kizuna Tanaka. Despite the many hiccups in this match, I still rate it as good. Misa Matsui and Chiaki were able to save this match, and Kizuna Tanaka didn't help with bringing it down. The semi-main event of the show was another tag match. This time, Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki face Mirai and Seri Yamaoka. Finally, we get to the best part of the show. The semi and main events really saved the show from being anything less than mediocre. All four wrestlers here were pretty great, with the weakest link being Seri, but that's understandable since she just debuted, like, not that long ago. The match starts off strong and continues to have many awesome moments. The first one that stuck out was this reversal grapple by Seti on Victoria. I've never seen something like this before, so it was cool to witness. Seti really pulled out everything she had for this match. Don't get me wrong, she is still very green in some aspects, but in the ring skills for her are completely solid. She just needs the experience and consistency that a more seasoned wrestler has. As a rookie, though, she's probably one of the best rookies to come along since I've been watching Joshi. The absolute raw talent right from the get-go is impressive. This match had some story elements to it as well. Mirai trying to get a world championship shot, but since she lost to Bozilla, who Utami Hayashishita had just defended her title against, Utami refused. Mirai made a deal that if she could beat Utami in a tag match, then Utami would give her a title shot. Well, the match ended in a time limit draw, and unfortunately there is no live commentary or subtitles, but I believe they set up a singles match between them on April 25th. This match was the first match of the night to get a great rating. While all the players did a great job, it wasn't mind-blowing or anything. I believe for a set-up tag match on a small show, it was about as what you could expect. The main event was a 6-man tag match between Chanyota, Mai Sakurai, and Mika Aono versus Bozilla, Nagisa Nozaki, and Gigaton. Gigaton is the current persona of wrestler Nao Ishikawa. I'm kind of coming around on the Gigaton gimmick, but I miss the old Nao. She's definitely killing it though, giving it 100%. She's kind of channeling the soul of a Power Ranger villain with this one. It's pretty fun to watch. A big dynamic to point out in this match is that Nagisa and Bozilla didn't seem to like and respect Gigaton. Nagisa outright shuns her at every opportunity, and Bozilla at one point in the match basically pushed her off the side of the ring. It's most likely just for comedy, which is a common trope, an annoying sidekick who the main characters find annoying and constantly shun or hit. It sucks seeing Now in this state for her career though, as I equate it to when Cody Rhodes had to play Stardust. Some highlights I will point out is Gigaton performing a diving splash to the outside of the ring, but she ended up hitting her own partners. I'm a bit confused on the dynamics of this, but I'm assuming at this point that Gigaton is a member of Darkness Revolution, as she has been with them pretty much since her debut. Bozilla performing a crushing German on Miku Aono here is also another great highlight. The match ended with Miku performing a Styles Clash on Gigaton. I would give this one a great as well. I feel like most of the girls today were saving themselves a bit for the upcoming big shows. After the match, Miku speaks on the mic, and I always forget how high-pitched her voice is. I remember on their debut show, all the Japanese wrestlers in the chat were spamming Takai, which means high or expensive, but in this case it meant high. It was super funny because if you had the translation dynamic on, it looked like all the Japanese were spamming the word expensive because that's the word it decided to translate it to. But at that point, I had actually already learned this word, so I knew it meant high as well, and I was cracking up. As far as I can tell, nothing of note was mentioned in the promos other than them maybe referencing Bozilla leaving Japan soon. I wasn't able to get a very clear transcription of this one, so unfortunately that's all I got for you. Overall, this show got a rating of good. While it had 2 great matches, most were just good, and then the okay match kind of brought it down a bit. Usually if there are around 2 matches with amazing or higher on the card, it can cancel out the less good matches. But this whole show was just mediocre in general. Now, I'm not saying it's not worth a watch, because it is. But if you were going in expecting some high quality matches, you will be disappointed.